Well, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for joining, spend a few minutes with us. I'm Steve Nolan. I am a senior product manager at CenturyLink, and I manage hosted private cloud products for our company globally. What we're going to do today is talk a bit about our relationship partnership with HPE that we have had for a very long time, and then I'll talk to a little bit about the product that we have and private cloud product we have and how we structured it. So I'd like to go ahead here in just a second. I'll introduce Andrew Parsons. Andrew Parsons is the Director of Service Provider Strategy. We've been working with him for many, many years.
Yeah, so good morning, everyone. Appreciate you attending. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
So I just want to talk a little bit about the partnership between HPE and CenturyLink. It's a long-standing partnership. So we've been really partnered for about 15 years, and the partnership initially started where, HPE's long history as a manufacturer. We saw the market changing quite drastically even 15 years ago. So clients wanted to consume infrastructure. They wanted a different relationship. Capital was, a premium. And so our alignment with CenturyLink began, at that time. And we actually built an entire global program at HPE that we call Partner Ready for Service Provider. Now that program is predicated on, as we look at our traditional go-to-market models, right, channel or direct sales. The service provider was changing that, and how do we bring our sales reps, into a motion with a service provider that's not competitive, right? It's partnering, so it's a sell with motion, and that program has grown out of this partnership with specifically CenturyLink into a worldwide program. So it's a long tenured program. Our reps are able to actually engage the CenturyLink sales teams when our clients that we call on together are looking to consume or have an off-premise private hybrid cloud managed hosting type of relationship. So I would say the flagship product or service that the relationship's built on is the one that Steve will talk about here in a little bit, which is the private cloud platform built on VMware Cloud Foundation. Mm-hmm. So if you look at our DNA as a company, Hewlett-Packard, right, big on innovation, and we continuously are looking at, how do we get in front of the market? How do we solve business outcomes for clients? And if you look at some of the acquisitions, well, quite frankly, if you look at how we've morphed and changed over the last 5 years, we split from being a very large company, right, with PCs, printers, and then traditional business hardware and software stacks, services. We are now very focused on the infrastructure and innovation piece. So as we divested out businesses and we've scaled our focus down, we're really heavily focused on innovation, primarily around, if you look at some of the announcements and acquisitions that we made that we have listed out here through the bottom, it's all predicated on, AI, intelligence, edge, automation, and that's really what the portfolio brings. So we use those platforms really as a conduit to enable the service provider like CenturyLink to take it, leverage it, and then eventually, right, we have a go-to-market strategy between our two companies. So the next big thing that you'll start seeing is how do we take things like private cloud out to the edge.
Mm-hmm. Go to me, Steve. All right, great. So now what I'll do is I'm just going to cover and discuss the private cloud product that we've actually launched and released 2 years ago. As any newer product, newer technology takes a bit of time for adoption and traction in the market, and that's what we're seeing throughout 2019. Folks are done kicking the tires on software-defined networking with the hyperconvergence, the vSAN technology and such, so it's become mainstream. So the way that we've structured our product, and of course we based it on what it is a managed infrastructure as a service product. So we manage that hardware stack as well as that suite of VMware software. It's built out and based on the VMware Cloud Foundation software suite. And so that's what this part is going through and discussing and I'm sure you're hearing a lot about VCF throughout the show. And then what we did is we worked actually with VMware very closely on the development of this product because we didn't want to just do straight out of the chute of what they had. We felt that enterprise customers needed something else and something a bit more. And so we worked through with them very closely for almost 14 months to make sure that we were a VMware Cloud verified, certified product. Okay, so we've passed through with the VVD, VMware verified design methodology with VMware to make sure that what we have designed meets best practices with VMware. And again, I'm not going to read the slides to you, but it tells you all the different stacks of software that are involved in that solution. What we do with this, and this is all dedicated private cloud 100%, right? Is we provide that stack of, it's designed and based on the HP DL360 Gen 10 servers. Because our product is a build to order product, we're able to provide you the latest technology that comes out of the industry. Give you an example, when I released the product 2 years ago, we were on the Intel V4 CPU. As the base. We've released on the Skylake when that came out a little over a year ago, and we're very close to releasing on the Cascade Lake. So as that iterations go through, when a customer orders their design for their private cloud, they will get the latest technology in the industry so that they get that better price performance for, as most of these solutions are, they're for 3 years. Some of our customers will sign up for 4 and 5. The most common methodology of terms for these private clouds is right around 3 years. Okay. But what we've done is we created what we call T-shirt sizes, so small, medium, and large kind of concept. And what we're seeing is about half of our solutions fit within those T-shirt sizes, and that is as a start. And what we give as an example here is that is a per host, and since it's vSAN technology, there's a 4-node minimum or 4-host minimum. So you just double those, multiply those numbers by 4, and that'll give you the total amount of resources you have available. It's really a product that's designed for about a minimum 20 to 30 workloads, and you just scale it up to hundreds of workloads or even thousands of workloads. Okay. Down in the bottom right-hand corner is a custom configuration. That's something that we're doing a bit unique in the market and the industry. Is to date now, as the technology keeps on updating and evolving, I now have over 1,000 configuration options, right? So if a small, a medium, or a large T-shirt size does not fit your design, we sit down, consult with you, and we tweak what it is that will meet your design, whether it be the number of cores per server, the amount of RAM. We can scale it anywhere from 128 gig to 1.5 terabytes, or we can adjust the storage anywhere from 5 terabytes to 35 terabytes per host. Okay, and so the design, the reason for that is, of course, all the customers out there, you have unique needs, right? For one of your unique needs is I need a lot of RAM, or I need a lot of storage, or I need a little bit of storage. And it allows us to tweak that design to build it specifically to your needs. And then we also allow for you to scale that with different options. And one of those options to scale is if you start out with 256 gig of RAM, you don't have to add another host to get more RAM. We can add RAM to that host. Of course, we'll add it to the whole stack. The same goes for storage. If you started with a smaller amount of storage, we can then add that storage per host versus us adding a host to get the storage, right? So we allow that flexibility to be able to meet the requirements and the varying requirements of all our customers out there in their designs, okay? What else to tell you? So one of the key things that we do with this is we're kind of describing how we're building out the infrastructures, right? So I'm pretty sure you get the story now of how infrastructures are being built versus how they were built a few years ago. So we understand the concept of you build your compute, your storage, your network, your security, and then you all tie it together. That's what we've been doing for 20, 30 years, right? Now with the advent of hyperconvergence and software-defined, from one stack of servers, I can provide that complete solution, all those pieces that I need. It's literally a data center and a stack. Right? Now, what we do and what we've designed with this is we front end that stack of all that VMware software with vCloud Director. So that vCloud Director interface provides you that portal to be able to manipulate that environment, right? So it allows you to build out your templates, bring in your appliances. It allows you to do the microsegmenting, build out firewalls, server load balancers, VPNs, all from that one interface, right? So as I mentioned before, at the base level, it's a managed infrastructure as a service. One of the key things that we do is for our customers that want the additional management is we layer on one of our other products called Cloud Application Manager, which is a multi-cloud management tool. And from that product, it then allows you to, once you've built out the infrastructure, if you would layer on CAM or Cloud Application Manager to be able to then add in manage OSs, so manage workloads, manage applications. And as a multi-cloud management tool, as most of you out there are struggle with being able to have just one cloud, it allows you from that one interface to work with multiple cloud products. So today, that product supports AWS, Azure, Google, my private cloud product, our public cloud product, and we're adding in the near future the ability to be able to do our VMC on AWS product from that one single interface. Okay, and so these are the kind of we work with you to design. We help you to operate as much as you want us to help. You can start with that base level. If you want us to do more, we do more, and we just layer on those services to meet your specific needs, right? And then we help you to scale. As I mentioned, that flexibility to scale as your business grows allows those flexibility options to be able to scale that infrastructure. And so let's see, yeah, so this is what I was talking about CAM, so I kind of jumped the gun a bit, but this little box down here is to represent that, kind of grab the concept from private cloud, hybrid cloud, and public cloud. And so what we talk about a lot at CenturyLink, right, it's there's always this argument, is it public cloud, is it private cloud, is it hybrid cloud? We strongly believe it's hybrid IT. Right, and why we say that is we continue to run at customers. It's like there are just some workloads that cannot be virtualized, right? And there are just some workloads that make sense in a public cloud and some that make sense in a private cloud, whether it be for the private cloud for performance, security, compliancy, regulatory. It's a preferred way of doing business. I get to control my oversubscription model, right? There's various use cases for that private cloud. And then what we say is that from one environment to be able to work with, control the various environments that most of our customers are having to deal with. Thank you very much.
Thank you.